Welcome back to World of Warcraft Expansion Locked, a series where I take on the insane challenge of locking myself to a random expansion and I can't leave until I collect and complete everything in the expansion. I started this journey in the Burning Crusade at a merely 17.85%. It will not stop until I reach a full 100% in every single expansion. If you haven't watched the last episode, a link will be down in the description for you to stay caught up. Let's get back into it. Welcome back to Expansion Locked. Previously on Expansion Locked. We quested all through Zangarmarsh and Blades Edge Mountains. We killed all 3 rares in Blades Edge Mountains and got 3 new transmog items for them. I went over what personal quests I need to do to unlock alt characters, and after finishing the quest lines in 2 zones, we eventually hit level 54. So far we have completed the quests for Hellfire Peninsula, Zangarmarsh, and now Blades Edge Mountains. We currently stand at 20.87% in the Burning Crusade, and in this episode we start our 4th zone, Netherstorm. We leave Blades Edge Mountains, finishing our 3rd zone for quest lines, and we make our way to Netherstorm, the land of Dr. Boom, Dementius, Warcraft's version of Area 51, and Tempest Keep. Netherstorm has 3 dungeons, the Mechanar, the Botanica, and the Arcatraz. It has 1 raid, the Eye, or as most people refer to it as Tempest Keep. Most players don't know, but actually all 4 instances together, that area is called Tempest Keep, and the raid alone is just called the Eye. As most, I will refer to the raid as Tempest Keep, so if you hear me saying that in any of the stream or the video, I'll be referring to the raid, not the area. Netherstorm also has 2 battle pets needed, the Nether Roach and the fledgling Nether Ray. It also has 1 reputation, the Consortium. Although the dungeons here give Shatar rep, and the raid doesn't give any rep, the Quartermaster for Consortium is in the Netherstorm. As well, there's another Quartermaster in the Grand. The only dungeon that gives Consortium rep is Mana Tombs and Terrakar Forest. The Consortium vendor has 17 recipes to get, 10 jewel crafting, 1 engineering, 3 leatherworking, 1 tailoring, and 2 are enchanting. There are also 3 recipes from a vendor inside the raid, Karazhan, that requires Consortium rep. Well, I don't know if I should call it 3, as the enchanting pattern doesn't really work anymore, but the 2 jewel crafting still do. So I had 2 more jewel crafting recipes to make it a total of 12 recipes needed for that profession, and a total of 19 recipes required for the Consortium rep alone. I don't think I've ever quested Netherstorm before, and I do have to say, the more you get into the zone, the better it gets, by far. The first area, Area 52, is pretty boring, but the rest of the zone is pretty cool, and has some fun quests to do. I would say, out of these 4 zones, this one is my favorite so far. But I know Nagrand will beat it in the future. Nagrand is probably my favorite questing area of all time. While questing here in Netherstorm, we're also on the lookout for any of the 3 rares that are in the zone. Evercore the Punisher, Nuramok, and Chief Engineer Lorthander. As we are leveling, and now have reached level 64, we will definitely hit level 70 before we finish all 7 zones. As we only have 6 more levels to go, and we're still in the 4th out of 7 zones, which means we will be kicked out of Chromie time at level 71. After Chromie time, it will set everything back to level 30, and I will start to steamroll on through these quests, and I will not have any difficulty whatsoever. I basically won't die unless, I do something stupid and fall. So questing will become boring, but quicker, and it unlocks the chance for us to start to be able to run dungeons daily for items, patterns, materials, and everything else. The faster I can get my characters into dungeons, the faster I can get all the professions up and worked on it, as that will be the biggest grind in this expansion. Even though, so far, I only have my 1 character, but hopefully we can look at unlocking a new character soon.
Around 6-7! 6-7!
No, God! No, God, please, no! No! No!
Chefs. What's that? 68. Should I just buy them to finish? I mean, why not? With only being 2 levels away, I need to start thinking about what I need to get done before level 71. And for that, means back to Blade's Edge Mountains. So as I talk here and finish up these last few levels, we are officially going to be kicked out of Chromie time. Right now I am starting the quest in Orgala, so when I have to farm the dailies, it will already be ready for me. Basically, I am doing these intro quests, which in turn grant me to do them again for the second time as a daily quest, then are available every day for a repeatable quest. You can unlock a few more dailies as you level up your reputation level, but for now, I will just have these 3. The first one is bombing them again, which is just to destroy 15 artillery stockpiles, wrangle some Aether Rays, which, as you guessed it, means wrangle up 5 Aether Rays, and bring them back to the quest giver. And the last one is the Relics Examination, which, in easy terms, I do Simon Says 8 times, each time a little bit more difficult. These 3 daily quests will give me a total of 1200 Orgala rep and 850 Shatari Skyguard rep. Shatari Skyguard is a bonus as there's other ways to farm it, and I'll be farming it in other ways in the future, and it's not required for anything that I currently need. With the Orgala vendor, there aren't actually any recipes to buy off the vendor, which is very good for me as it means I don't need to farm this rep on more than my main character. There are 7 transmog pieces needed to buy and 1 tabard, and these aren't bought with gold like most vendors, nor gold caps like the vendor in Zangarmarsh. In the Burning Crusade, they tried to test out some different vendor styles, and as we could tell, it didn't work out very well, as it didn't stick around much after this expansion. But this vendor requires Apexis shards and Apexis crystals. Apexis shards are dropped from almost all mobs in the Blade's Edge Mountains. The best farm for them would be the Apexis Flayers or the Shard Hide Boars. You need a total of 560 Apexis shards for all the transmog from the vendor, and the other item is Apexis crystals. These are basically the upgraded version of Apexis shards and are only off key elite mobs in the zone, mostly summonable mobs that cost Apexis shards to summon, or the elite mobs that you can summon in the Bashir landing after the event. The event is how I will farm most of these shards, and I will go into further detail when we decide to knock out these transmogs. Now that I have finished all the intro quests and unlocked all the repeatable quests, let's head back to Netherstorm and continue where we left off. We are going to keep questing until we hit level 71 and get kicked out of Chromie time. And with doing all these quests, we actually managed to hit Exalta with our guild, which I haven't really talked about very much, so I guess I could go a little bit more into detail about that. I've created a guild on NA Alliance called Expansion Locked. If you are on Alliance, you can find it in the recruitment finder every day. I will keep it up every month. If you are on Horde, you can message someone in the guild to invite you, or come to one of my streams and I can add you then. The goal with the guild is to build a community that enjoys playing the game, has fun farming transmogs, getting achievements, and isn't focused on the endgame content. Currently, we have a few viewers and friends in the guild and we're planning to do a community raid days. We will be creating characters, locking their XP at level 30, and doing older raids for content. So if you are interested in joining the guild, make sure you do. We, as a guild, will be working on 100%ing all of the guild achievements. Maybe I should call the guild Guild Locked instead. The only rule of the guild is to respect each other and to be friendly. I guess that's 2 rules. We currently don't have anything set in stone for dates, but you're welcome to join. You can make your character for the raid and dungeon farming and lock their XP level 30. You can also just join and have a good time on any character. It doesn't have to be level 30 characters. Level 30 characters are only required for the community raid nights. Hope to see you all soon. As I was introducing the guild, you can see that I hit level 71. I got kicked out of Chromie time and started running my first dungeon, the Botanica. This dungeon has 5 bosses. Commander Serenus, which has 5 items I need. High Botanist Freywin, which has 4 items I need, and also a soulbound blacksmithing pattern. That means I will need to farm this dungeon on whatever class I end up making blacksmith when I start to unlock alts. The third boss is Thorngren the Tender. He has 3 items I need and also a soulbound tailoring pattern. Next would be Laj. This plant creature somehow has 6 items in his pockets that I need to get off him. And lastly would be the big tree guy, Warp Splinter, with a whopping 11 items, with also another tailoring pattern making it 12 items. My idea is to farm these dungeons on my main to try to get the loot required while gaining rep for the dungeon at the same time. Once I hit Exalted, unless I need the dungeon or raid for a specific drop on my main character, I'm going to stop running the dungeon. If I have to run it on my alts for rep anyways, there's no point in me wasting time for the transmog. I will eventually get it on another character anyways. This character will be Exalted with every possible rep, but as I said before, my alts will only have the rep farmed that is required for the vendors. And just like that, we finish our first dungeon of the series. While running the dungeon, I thought to myself about some reputation for the expansion, and figured, I think it's time to decide if I will be Aldor or Scryers. Aldor is heads, Scryer is tails. So we're going Aldor. I don't know what that is for, but who are you? Ooh, hello. Well, here goes all my gold. Looks like I bought the ones for Warrior, but I didn't check for other stuff, or I couldn't at the time. Maybe. Alcatraz. There we go. We step into our second dungeon of the series, the Alcatraz. This dungeon has 4 bosses, and the first being right here, Zarakith the Unbound. He has 6 items that drop, but I only need 5 of them. He also drops a decent amount of motes of shadow, which are very important later on for professions. There's also 5 Voidwalkers on the way to the next boss, which have a chance to drop more motes of shadow, so this dungeon could become a little farm in the future. The next boss, or should I say bosses, as they are right beside each other, are Dahlia the Doomsayer and Wrathscryer Socrathrates? Is that how you say it? Dahlia is the first on the left, which has 9 drops, but I only need 8 of them. And the other boss has 7 drops, which I only require 6. The last boss here is Harbinger Skyrus. Basically, we have to wait and open up these 4 prisons first, and then he gets summoned. This is also the first time we get to see Millhouse Netherstorm in the expansion, if that ever mattered. Millhouse Netherstorm! This boss has 8 items that drop, and I need all of them still. I also forgot to mention that Dahlia drops a tailoring pattern. I'm glad it's her and not this guy, so I don't need to do this RP longer than needed. The last dungeon here is called the Mechanar, and we obviously are not going to leave one dungeon left and not complete it. So as we head into this dungeon for the first time, I realized I don't think I've ever done this dungeon before. I don't know if I've ever done this dungeon. As when I kill the first of the 2 sub-bosses, meaning they don't have drops, but there are 2 mobs that you need to kill to unlock the path to the second boss, it confuses me greatly when the ATT noise goes off saying it was a boss. The first boss we just killed, Mechano Lord Capacitus, has 4 drops we need plus an engineering pattern. There are a total of 3 patterns from here, 1 from each boss, as you can see above. The second boss is Nethermancer Sepethria. She has 6 drops and 1 alchemy pattern, which was shown before. Then we have the last boss, Pathalion the Calculator, with a staggering 12 items and a tailoring pattern. So for this dungeon, a total of 3 patterns and 22 transmog. So now we have done all 3 dungeons in Netherstorm, but we still haven't found out why we're here. Who is Kael'thas? How does he relate to Illidan? What is the purpose of this place? And what is the end goal for the heroes of Azeroth in the zone?
Beyond the mountains lies Netherstorm, a shattered land ripped apart by unstable magic. Floating isles drift across a broken sky, and arcane energies crackle through the wasteland. Here, Kael'thas Sunstrider pursues a dangerous path, siphoning power from the Tempest Keep to fuel a darker allegiance. If his schemes succeed, the Burning Legion will tighten its grip on Outland, and Azeroth itself will not be safe. Netherstorm is a realm of arcane devastation, where the very land has been consumed by the pursuit of power. Here, the Manaforges, great siphoning machines, bleed the world dry, feeding Kael'thas' schemes. Once a prince of Quel'Thalas and ally to Illidan, Kael has turned wholly to the Burning Legion, offering himself as a servant to kill Jaden. In Tempest Keep, the crystalline fortress drifting across the shattered sky, Kel'Thas commands his loyalists and guards his hoarded power. Battling through its halls means not only striking at one of the most dangerous magisters alive, but also severing a vital link between Outland and the Legion. Kael's betrayal is a grim reminder that Outland is not merely a battleground for survival, it is the staging ground for the Legion's next great invasion. His defeat at Tempest Keep is a blow against the Legion's designs, but it does not end them. The shattered lands of Netherstorm remain unstable, their mana forever scarred. And as we turn away from the storm, our path carries us closer to the heart of Illidan's power.
With all 3 dungeons done, the last thing to do in Netherstorm is the raid, the Eye. The place where Kel'Thas Sunstrider is hiding out, gathering power, trying to become all-powerful to help the Blood Elves and their mana addiction to survive. We fight through the halls, conquering his allies and creations, and make our way to the big man himself. Ooh, a test of scale. Nice. The first of his allies is Alar. Most will know this boss from the mount, the Ashes of Alar, which weirdly doesn't drop from this boss, but is this boss, if that makes sense. This boss has 9 transmog drops and 1 bonus loot battle pet drop. Now we make our way to the next ally, High Astromancer Solarian, which has 11 transmogs and 1 bonus loot battle pet. This one is really nice because you kill them, everyone runs to you, you don't have to go. The last guy here is Void Reaver. He has 4 transmog pieces, 3 set transmog pieces, and 1 bonus loot battle pet. So all 3 bosses before Kel'Thas have a bonus loot battle pet, which I will need towards the achievement Raiding with Leashes 2. This is also the first boss we fight where we need to farm set pieces, which are basically an item that has different appearances inside, and we'll need to open it on different characters using different specializations. In most raids, these set pieces will be the biggest grind to complete. These and the patterns. This raid has 16 zone drop patterns. Some of them also drop in other raids like Serpent Shrine Cavern. They can drop from any mob or any boss in the raids. We make our way down the last hall to the last boss, the big boy himself, Kel'Thas Sunstrider. First, we have to defeat his 4 guards. Then, their weapons. And then, his 4 guards again. And then finally him. He drops 11 transmog pieces, 3 set transmog pieces, and finally what most people come here for, the Ashes of Alar mount. I already have the mount as I got it back in 2018 when farming mounts, but I wouldn't mind a double. This mount came out on January 9th, 2007, and still to this day, almost 20 years later, is still one of the most iconic and farmed mounts in the game. With Tempest Keep completely finished now, Netherstorm has been conquered for now. We still need to do these dungeons and raids daily and weekly when possible. I'm going to end the episode here. Thank you for everyone for watching the series and joining the community with the guild. Last Saturday we had our first guild dungeon run and it was super fun. I will post a video on that soon. For expansion lock though, we end episode 3 at 22.30%. In the next episode, I think we should start moving forward to the next zone, Shadow Moon Valley.